Namespaces are created using the namespace keyword followed by the name you want to give the namespace. The contents of the namespace are enclosed in curly braces. You can expose functions, classes, interfaces, or even simple values from a namespace. Here I've defined a new function named addMember. I expose it on the namespace by putting the export keyword in front of the function definition. Consumers of the function can then access it through the namespace using dot notation. Namespaces can also be nested. A nested namespace must also be prefixed with the export keyword. You can then export objects from the nested namespace just like you do from the root namespace. Since the addMember function is in the membership namespace, I call the function by writing membership.addMember. The nested namespace just adds one more level to the dot notation. I can call the issueCard function by writing membership.cards.issueCard. When organizing your application with namespaces, you specify that one file is dependent on items defined in another file by using what are known as triple// references. They're called that because they begin with the 3 slashes. Those slashes are then followed by what looks like an HTML element named reference. It has an attribute named path that specifies the path of the file to be referenced. Here I'm referencing a file named membership.ts, which holds the namespace I created on the previous slide. Once you've referenced all of the necessary files, you can write whatever code is needed that uses the items defined in those files. In this example, I'm calling the functions I defined inside the membership namespace. Using triple// references does a couple of very nice things for you. The first is that you get enhanced editor support for the referenced files, assuming you're using a TypeScript-aware editor. Your editor can see the things defined inside the referenced files and give you nice code completion support for them. The second thing it does is tells the compiler what additional files must be compiled in addition to the present one. For example, if the code you see here was in a file named app.ts and I just told the TypeScript compiler to compile that file, it would see the reference to membership.ts and automatically compile it as well since it's required by app.ts. By default, each of the TypeScript files would still be compiled into their own JavaScript file. In the case of a browser application, that would mean you would have to add separate script tags for each of the JavaScript files and list them in the correct order so that they would be available when referenced. However, you can let the TypeScript compiler handle some of that messiness for you by using the --out file compiler flag. It will compile the files you specify and follow all of their referenced files and output them to a single JavaScript file with everything in the proper order. That's a very nice feature you'll want to take advantage of if you're using namespaces. Let's now go whip up a quick new demo app that uses namespaces.